Gentlemen, welcome to Magical Girl Site. Is it worth watching? We're gonna see if this anime is worth watching. Well, anyway, I seen this anime and I thought it was a load of crap, so let's see what other people think about it. Okay, the link will be in the description down below. Let's watch this video.
Welcome back to Worth Watching, the series where I watch the first 3 episodes of a show to test the idea that you should watch that many episodes before deciding whether or not you'd be interested in continuing to watch the rest of it. And today, I'm going dark. I love
Darkness is my friend.
me some dark themed stories, and one of my favorite things ever is stories with dark dramatic themes but cute and innocent art styles, and magical girl shows can be a great source to find that perfect blend, which is why I made the dark theme set of Magical Girl May merch available now with a link in the description. So when I was looking at a list of
This anime stinks, I remember it very well.
quote dark magical girl stories, Magical Girl Site almost instantly caught my eye. The vibrant red and monochromatic color palette of its poster is very striking, but the reason I never ended up watching it is because
That cat dies by her bullies. Oh yeah, she also gets abused by her brother.
when I did look into it, it seems a little too dark for me. I know the story covers some very serious things like suicide and extreme bullying. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen a girl with her shoes
Razors in my shoes, I got razors in my shoes. I got razors in my shoes and I can't walk, no. Got razors in my shoes and I can't walk, no. Hey, razors in my shoes and I can't walk, no.
filled with razors and stuff, which is like some really next level bullying stuff. I'm pretty sure my video's gonna have a trigger warning on it. And like I said, I love dark stories, but there is a line of what I think goes too far. I would rewatch any of the Saw films, The Witch, The Lighthouse, or Green Knight any day of the week. I think they push the boundaries in a way that's really interesting, and I really, really love them. But I've also watched Black Death, and I'd be very happy never watching it again. There's a point where it just goes a little too far, and I was always afraid Magical Girl Site would be that way. But I guess now is as good a time as any to really put that to the test. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Let's not waste any more time, and let's dive into Magical Girl Site. The story starts with the world entering a sort of alternate reality type of place. I find out later it's just time has stopped.
Oh, so they have time stop just like crap, I forgot her name.
I'll be honest, the opening is a lot more hopeful feeling than I was expecting. The soundtrack has a sort of inspiring vibe to it.
Oh yeah, these two are supposed to be twin sisters who fall in love later. It's in the manga, it's kind of weird.
The actual OP though,
This is supposed to be like Monica from the other show.
is a lot more of what I was expecting. Suicidal imagery, weird creepy faces, people looking sad and just like blood everywhere and whatever. As the show proper starts up, we see one of our main girls from before, Aya Asagiri. I'm guessing this is all just a flashback that'll eventually get us back to the point from the very beginning. She attempts to step in front of an oncoming train, but the sound effect of Magical Girl World calling your name stops her just in time.
Say my name, say my name. Don't let me go to the train. Say my name, say my name. Don't let me go to the train. No, I don't want to go to the train. No.
Unfortunately, it's made incredibly clear right from the get-go that she thinks about this sort of thing a lot. Then when she gets to school, it's just like a whole bunch of really intense bullying, and then when she goes home, it's even more intense bullying. I can understand that the theme the story is trying to tell here is to touch on those who are hurt and are feeling suicidal. But like, I don't think it needs to just basically be torture porn to get the point across.
Sorry, Cat, you're gonna die. You're gonna die by a bully. I believe it's the redhead.
That cat is going to die. I'm calling it now.
That's what I just said.
I would bet $1,000 that this cat is going to die. This just feels like the kind of story that would have her cat friend die right away, wouldn't it? No, my God! In the middle of the night, she gets a Persona 4 styled message on her laptop screen.
That's not creepy at all. Hello, little girl. I am a magical girl site. Would you like to be a magical girl? Yes? No? Sorry. You're going to be one anyway. Hello. Goodbye. See you later.
Offering to make her a magical girl. And the next day at school, she finds what she thinks is a toy in her locker. More bullying, more bad things, but Aya
The heck? That's a 40-year-old man. What's Andrew Tate doing here?
Manages to escape, and after getting cornered, she blats them with her toy gun, and they end up actually dead, run over
Rest in peace, Andrew Tate. Rest in peace.
by the train. Oh, and look, now, 20 minutes into the first episode, Amazon Prime has decided to tell me what the rating is on this video. Unsurprisingly, Aya is in a bit of a tizzy after supposedly killing these people. Then the next day at school, the other two bully girls corner her again, assuming she was the reason their other bully buddies died.
Wait, you just have a box cutter in hand? How did you get the box cutter anyway? Where did the box cutter come from? Goodness gracious, me alive kids these days are crazy. Ah, whatever.
This is too far. This is where you're crossing the line. After all the other crap you've done to this poor girl, now, all of a sudden, this is too much for you?
Okay, seriously. This girl is Homura. She's supposed to be Homura because Homura at the time, she had the ability to stop time. What the heck?
This is where the first episode ends, and I'm gonna say right off the bat, I don't like watching this. My summary for episode 1 feels rather bare bones, and that's because
What the heck? This is a 40-year-old man. This is a 40-year-old man. What is Andrew Tate doing in school? What is Andrew Tate doing in school? Andrew Tate, get out of school. Wait, this is not Andrew Tate because Andrew Tate doesn't have hair. This is Hassan Piker. What's Hassan Piker doing in school?
all that really happens is just a lot of endless bullying. By the time we saw her brother attacking her, I was actually considered completely quitting on making this video. I know some people are fine with watching things like this, but I find it more uncomfortable than anything else, especially because it's just never ending. From the moment we hit go, it's just endless sadness and pain, and then the one brief moment of joy with her cat is just there to set up even more sadness and pain down the line. From a critique point of view, it took way too long to set up the magical elements, which is probably why the pre-opening scene had all the magical flying around things in it, but otherwise, we'd be sitting around for 90% of the episode before anything magical happens. And then after she uses her magical gun, we don't get any more magic, except for when the time stopped at the very end. Even if it wasn't just
now she's in the toilet. Come on, man, she's in the toilet.
Just torture porn all the way through, I still wouldn't be too hooked on the show. It's a magical girl anime. I want to see some magic. To compare this to Madoka Magica, a show that admittedly
that is a great show. Madoka Magica is way better. This is Monica, by the way. She's kind of the pushover, and this is her best friend. She's the best character in the anime.
He also has a lot of nothing going on for the majority of the first episode, but teased some of the
yeah, and this is Homura Akemi. She's the one that has the ability to stop time and go back in time.
Magical stuff in the pre-opening scene. The final moments where we get to finally see magic is a really big spectacle. Mommy's attack on the Anthonys have a lot of flashy, iconic animation, a big sweeping score, flashy, cool movements. This alone is enough to sell the magic of this world. Magical Girl Site had one rather bland talking head scene, and that's just like not enough to sell me, you know? So, long story short, I'm not exactly on the edge of my seat beat leading into episode 2. It's also not a great sign that episode 2 starts wholesale by playing literally everything that ended off the first episode. I've noticed it a few times already that the budget for this anime feels less than stellar, some wonky proportions, stilted weird animations, etc.
I didn't even notice that. Huh.
Yatsumura here explains that Aya's gun has instant teleportation powers, and that's how the two bullies got in front of the train before. She then goes on a lengthy monologue about how since they've been gifted sticks, as they call them, these are sticks.
That's a gun, not a stick.
Since they've been gifted sticks, they should continue to kill all people that they deem as bad, which makes me think of the interesting question of morality and main protagonists. Some stories have the morality of our heroes diving into questionable territory. A magical girl story that leans into the questionable
She's trying way too hard to be Homura.
morality of killing anyone they deem as bad is interesting. I talked about Nagisa's side story and the character of Yu, who had a very similar premise. The part that makes this topic interesting is when it is up to someone to decide if they can be judge, jury, and executioner. What standards are they working with? In fact,
seriously, how's this guy not getting this knife stabbing him in the butt? Seriously, it's just like right there. Goodness gracious, everybody here is not noticing that he has a knife in his back. How is he not stabbing his butt? Well, what if he forgets? Ow! My butt! I stabbed my butt!
the type of person who would be willing to kill anyone without hesitation if she thought they were bad by her standards, wouldn't that be the kind of person you'd think she would target? Anyways, as I was pondering this honestly interesting moral dilemma, I accidentally paused during the opening and I lost all my interest again. As it's showing off all of the presumed sticks of our magical girls, I realized one of their sticks seems to just be a pair of underwear, and I cannot express just how much I really don't want to see this. No, I would not like the sad magical girl torture porn show to have a character whose magical ability requires her to get a bunch of panty shots. No, please. Yatsumura explains that she and another friend of hers was trying to figure out what the magical girl site is and why they give girls their magical sticks. She explains that the
these two are supposed to be related in the end. And, they apparently fall in love and make out or something.
Emblem that appears on your wrist.
Not in the anime, but in the manga. I didn't read the manga, I read the wiki, so that's how I know.
Is a symbol of your life points that goes down when you use magic, and if it runs out, you'll die. And she explains that there's a magical girl going around killing other magical girls to get all their sticks, who she's named the Magical Hunter. So it only took until halfway through the second episode, but we finally have, a plot laid out for us. It only took halfway into the second episode, but now we can start figuring out who the Magical Hunter is.
It's gotta be her. That's her.
Oh, or she can just jump out and attack Aya in the very next scene, I guess. Not much of a mystery then, huh? Yeah, I guess I assumed the Magical Hunter would be more of something our heroes needs to actually do something to get to. But I guess just having things happen at our heroes without them having to do anything on their own to get there works too. It's boring, but it works, technically. Magical Hunter is trying to kill Aya, and Yatsumura can't help her. The dilemma is that Aya doesn't want to kill anyone else.
Yeah, for heaven's sakes, you don't want to kill anybody else. This is life or death, woman. You gotta fight. Stop being a little... Never mind.
Even if they're already attacking her. She does use her stick to teleport the Magical Hunter away, and thanks to Yatsumura's time-freezing ability, they can try and find her before she might get killed. Which brings us back to that interesting moral quandary. Killing those who do others harm. Our two main protagonists have an interesting duality in this regard.
Yeah, because apparently they're supposed to be twins or something. And later on they make love.
Mura clearly thinks killing anyone who might be bad is something that's fine to do. In fact, she thinks it's a morally right thing to rid the world of, as she puts it, garbage. And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this just the plot to The Boys?
Patience is waning. Is this entertaining?
But Aya refuses to do so. From horrible bullies to literal serial killers, she won't do it. And I don't think it's because she doesn't want the others to be hurt, though that would make sense. I think it's more that it goes against her own personal morals. She doesn't want to be a killer, more than she doesn't want other people killed. Anyways, they find her in a—
Oh, great. She's one of those characters. She's a Deku type. Goodness gracious.
It's revealed that the hunter was actually the friend who was helping Yatsumura from before. She just used another stick to change her appearance because we needed to get fan service in here, I guess. She explains that she was trying to get as many sticks as she could to help her survive because she found out that in a short while there'll be a—
Wait, why do these look like sperm? Look, this looks like sperm.
large magical girl storm called the Tempest. When it comes, it'll send everyone into a different world, and it's powerful enough to kill almost all of the magical girls. Hey, wait a minute! It's just Valpurgisnacht. It's just
Hey, Valpurgisnacht is Russian! What the?
Madoka Magica. Madoka Magica was one of the first, if not at least one of the most prominent examples of a darker twist on the magical girl genre. And there was a ton of new, similarly darker stories that came afterwards. And yeah, there's some similarities, from Daybreak Illusion's monsters feeling reminiscent of witches, to Magical Girl Raising Project's mascot character actually being the coordinator of the fighting. But this is just like a wholesale ripoff of Madoka. It's just someone's edgy middle school fanfiction version of Glasses Homura. Time-stopping powers, using a gun, black hair, being sad and lonely, there's a blonde-haired older girl showing her the ropes, the world-ending magical storm that's on the horizon.
Yeah, but there was no sperm. You see, sperm was right here. Sperm. See? Aki.
The only difference is, it's like they sat there and went, what if Madoka was never there to befriend her? Or perhaps, what if Madoka had giant tits and was actually the bad guy?
I love tits.
Hey, remember that scene where Homura was embarrassed because she couldn't solve her level 3 trigonometry question in front of the class? Well, what if instead she was actually just really hardcore bullied? My fanfiction is on Wattpad right now, you should check it out, it's so edgy and cool. Moving on to episode 3, I'm not thrilled. The saddest part is that it has a really interesting premise that seems to be centered around morality. Some of Yatsumura's actions feel just as bad, if not worse, than the actions of the 3 bullies who used to torment Aya. And yet Aya considers her a friend. Does it only matter when the violence happens to those who do bad things? Does it matter if the person committing the acts of violence stands up for you? Whose moral lines end where is sort of constantly questioned. Yatsumura talks non-stop about killing bad, horrible people, but she also sat back and did nothing while Aya was being obviously bullied in front of her. Why didn't Yatsumura step in and stop them beforehand? Did she only decide to do so
because it wasn't time
after Aya became a magical girl? Because then that way she could get Aya's help with stopping the magical hunter? Isn't that sort of selfish? Doesn't that sort of muddy the mentality of stop everyone who's doing bad things if you're holding yourself back because you want to get something out of them first? In essence, this all should be super interesting to further discuss and dissect. Unfortunately, the show plays it so shallowly that I feel like I'm trying to dive into the deep end, but all the show is offering me is a puddle. Anyways, into episode 3, here we go. Just like last time, a huge chunk of the episode is just our 2 main girls sitting around.
We're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about our feelings, okay? So, how are you? Well, you see, I'm very depressed right now. Oh, really? I really don't care. I just want to sit here. Oh, okay. Well, it sure is lovely today. Yeah, pretty much so. How's school? We go to the same school, we're in the same class, so yeah, okay.
Talking to each other. They wonder what the Tempest is, but they don't know. They try to talk, but Yatsumura doesn't want to share info about herself, and they decide they need to heal the magical hunter who has been hospitalized for using too much magic. If they can heal her, then she can further explain what she knows about the Tempest, but they don't have a stick that can heal others. Magical Hunter, though, had a book of girls who have sticks, and they realize a pop idol, Nijimin, is also a magical girl. So the first thing they gotta do, let's check on her to see if she can help heal people.
穴沢にじみとの接触に握手会を利用するなんて、だって意外と策士ね。
You can stop time. Time is literally stopped right now as you're saying this. You could have just stopped time and walked up to Nijimin and then unfroze time for her and talked to her. Spending money to get tickets for a meet and greet, then stopping
That is retarded, but what can you do?
time does not scream strategic to me. You know what? I'm happy to see a character who isn't just constantly wallowing in misery and hate. This is a
Misery is my name, misery is my name, misery.
breath of fresh air, and I appreciate it.
実は私
Oh god, no! She's the one with the fucking underwear! No! I cannot express how much I just really hate the amount of fan service, I guess is what I'll call it, in this show. Usually I'm not too bothered by fan service stuff. I don't like it, but usually it's not terrible. I don't know. The anime about sad girls and death and suicide and all kinds of bad stuff doesn't really feel like the appropriate story for fan service shit, especially when the character whose panties were shown over and over again looks really young. Like, super young. Like, way too fucking young. Stop this. Oh, but this kind of thing is kind of common in anime. Stop. Stop normalizing this shit. We're really just putting the porn into torture porn now, huh? Anyways, Nijimin's stick allows her to control people, and she
Oh, I feel so sad and lonely, I got to go. I'm going.
really wants to kill the magical hunter because she killed her old friend. So asking her to help get information out of the magical hunter is probably not going to work. Things finally start to happen right at the very end. Aya's abusive brother is getting pissed off that he can't attack her while she's away with her friends and stumbles upon her browsing history for Magical Girl site. Meanwhile, Nijimin seems really intent on killing the magical hunter, and they still need to figure out a
Oh yeah, she falls in love with her stupid brother.
way to heal her and get more info about the Tempest. We're also shown that there's this extra obsessive fan of Nijimin's, and we've been seeing that that's definitely not going to be ending well. And to top things off, the bully that Yatsumura had sliced her own throat is still alive, and overhears them talking about magical girls and stumbles onto the site admin. So odds are she'll be getting her own stick too.
Oh yeah, she'll get a yo-yo. A yo-yo that cuts things. And buildings, apparently. Which is kind of crazy. I haven't seen a yo-yo in forever.
Episode 3 was a whole lot of nothing. They sat around talking, then they met Nijimin so they could just sit around and talk with her. There wasn't even a half-assed magical moment like in the second episode. What a bust. Things finally picking up right at the very end is neat, but like, there's a lot of these episodes that just feel like stretching out scenes to fill time. So we finally finished our 3 episodes, and it's time to decide. Would I keep watching Magical Girl site? Ugh, fucking, I don't know, man. Yes? No? Maybe? I don't know. I know this isn't really as definitive of an answer that I usually give, but I really am torn. On one hand, I do think there's some interesting things to discuss here, specifically in terms of morality and violence. When are acts of violence considered more morally right than others? Who is willing to do acts of violence and for what reasons? And when are those reasons considered good or bad? Wanting to kill someone for revenge versus wanting to kill someone for your own survival. Wanting to physically beat someone because it makes you personally feel better, versus wanting to physically beat someone because you're trying to stop them from hurting others. Is there a deeper question about selfishness and self-centeredness around these concepts too? Magical Hunter hurts others to protect herself, and that's considered bad, but when Aya hurt
Nah, I don't know. This whole anime stinks, so whatever.
others to protect herself, that was a good thing. And I think delving deeper and deeper into this blurry line about violence and morality can actually be really interesting. But on the other hand, there's just so much shit about this anime I can't stand. Their animation is really not great. It's all rather lazy or cheap feeling. 3 episodes in and we've gotten barely any actual instances of magic on display. The most prominent one being stopping time, which isn't exactly a thrill to look at visually. The animation is stilted during the action-heavy moments at best, but for the most part, it's just standing around. The first episode was really uncomfortable to watch, with a lot of really intense—
Oh no, it's Hassan Piker. No, run, little girl, it's Hassan Piker.
bullying. But after episode 1, nothing else happens. Now, I don't want it to just be big sad times all episode, every episode, but fuck, do something. Go have monsters to kill or battles to fight. They don't need to do anything once they become magical girls. You would think with that kind of setup, our main heroes would have to really go the distance to get the ball rolling with the plot. But no, all the answers just conveniently drop right in front of them with little to no effort. Aw, dip, we gotta find the magical hunter. Oh, here she is. Aw, dang, we need to find more magical girls to find a way to heal the magical hunter. Oh, here's a literal book full of different girls we can find. Ah, dippity poopity boo. We gotta find out a way to get in contact with the super famous pop idol. Oh, we just bought backstage tickets. Here we are. There's just no struggle for our characters to face, which just leads to long, drawn-out conversation scenes that don't feel like they're even adding up to much in the end. We're not even developing these girls because they barely talk about themselves. They just kind of blandly touch on the idea of this plot that immediately gets resolved in the next scene. And so it's all very boring.
22:30. I wonder who was playing that game. Because whoever 22:30, or that could be the time, which would be, I forgot.
But
10:30.
also, I have this morbid curiosity to see what happens next, mostly because I'm curious to see just how bad it gets from here. The show feels like a mishandled flop, and I'm so interested to see just how badly they fail at presenting the ideas these first few episodes have presented. What I really can't stand, though, is a boring show, and Magical Girl Sight comes very close to being that. I would be curious to see more, but its interest is hanging on by a thread. But I am glad I finally checked it out. I've been so curious about it for years, and honestly, I'm glad it's not nearly as terrible as I was expecting. I expected it all to just be non-stop sad and non-stop pain, and while that first episode was that to an almost too uncomfortable degree, it's more just boring. Which makes me think most people probably don't get past that first episode, so they never see just how bland and drab it is past its introduction. And I guess I never would have found this out if I never would have watched it, so I can say I did that at least.
Oh, it's adorable.
私は毎日
Every day is good day, but now I want to go away. There's a house, I see it now. Oh my goodness, just press the space bar.
死ぬことばかり考えている
Oh, it's traumatized.
Life's gonna suck when you grow up. It sucks pretty bad right now.
And we dug the bullets out of that Iraqi family's skulls so they couldn't be traced back to us.
Today I saw a balloon.
Uh-oh, that sounds like...
Shout out to my $10 patrons, you're all amazing. Nako, Cool Duck, Andrew, Ramiel.
Well, that's the video. The video will be in the link in the description. The link will be in the link in the description. Tell me to meet again, my fellow strugglers.